He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, wait, why did I agree to that? Why did I apologize when I wasn't wrong? Why do I feel guilty, even though they hurt me? That's not weakness. That's conditioning. And the scary part is, most people don't control you with power. They control you with emotion, with pressure, with timing, with your need to be liked. Machiavelli warned about this centuries ago. People don't need to defeat you physically if they can defeat you mentally. So today I'll give you 7 habits that make you almost impossible to control. No motivation, no fluffy advice, just real psychology, real strategy, real results. Here's the truth nobody tells you. People control you through your reflexes. Your reflex to explain, your reflex to prove yourself, your reflex to avoid conflict. If someone can predict your reaction, they can predict your decisions. So the goal isn't to become cold. The goal is to become unpredictable and self-governed. Now let's get into the habits. The first habit is simple, and it's deadly effective. Pause. Not because you're confused, because you're in control. Most manipulation works in the first 2 seconds. When someone hits you with, "Answer me right now," why are you being weird? So you don't care about me. Just say yes. They want your emotional reflex, not your decision. So do this. When you feel pressured, say, "Let me think. I'll get back to you. Give me a minute." That tiny pause breaks their script. If your friend says, "Come on, just lend me money. Don't be selfish." Old you panics, tries to be good, sends it. New you pauses, "I'll think about it." And suddenly, they lose their grip because they can't control a person who doesn't react instantly. Habit number 2. Stop explaining yourself. This one hurts, but it's freedom. Over-explaining is a form of submission. Think about it. Why do you explain so much? Because deep down, you believe, if they understand me, they won't be mad. But controlling people don't want to understand you. They want to train you. Machiavellian truth. The more you explain, the more material they have to attack. Replace explanations with statements. "I'm not available." "I'm not doing that. That doesn't work for me. I've decided." No essay, no courtroom defense. If a coworker asks you to cover their shift again, and you say, "I can't. I have family stuff, and last time." Now they negotiate. "What family stuff? Can't you do it later?" Instead say, "I can't cover it." Silence. End of story. You don't owe access to your life. By the way, if you like content that makes you mentally stronger, more respected, and harder to manipulate, subscribe now. Because every week we break down power, psychology, and real-world confidence without the cringe. Now, habit number 3. Don't chase approval. Let me say it clearly. If you need people to like you, you'll always be controllable, because approval is a leash. And some people are experts at giving you tiny doses of it, just to keep you obedient. They'll compliment you when you comply, then punish you with coldness when you don't. That's not love. That's training. Start practicing small disobedience. Do tiny things that disappoint people on purpose. Say no to a small request. Don't reply instantly. Leave a conversation early. Disagree calmly. You're teaching your nervous system. I can survive disapproval. Someone texts, "Why are you ignoring me?" Old you panics. Sorry, I was busy." New you. "I saw it. I was busy." You're not rude. You're not emotional. You're just not controlled. Habit number 4. Control your face, not your feelings. You don't need to become emotionless. You need to become unreadable, because the moment someone can see they got to you, they know what buttons to press next time. A raised eyebrow, a nervous laugh, a defensive tone. That's all it takes. Practice the neutral face. Relaxed forehead, slow blink, steady breathing, calm voice. And here's the key. Respond like a judge, not a victim. Instead of, "What? Why would you say that?" Say, "Interesting." Noted. Okay. When someone tries to embarrass you in a group, you're always so quiet. Are you scared? You smile slightly and say, "No, I just don't talk for free." Now the room shifts, because you didn't flinch. Habit number 5. Ask questions. Instead of defending, this is one of the most underrated power moves. When someone attacks you, don't defend. Investigate. Why? Because defense puts you beneath them. Questions put you above them. Use these lines. What do you mean by that? Why are you asking? What makes you say that? Can you explain your intention? Someone says, "You've changed," instead of "No, I haven't." You say, "Changed how?" Now they're forced to expose their real complaint. "You don't do things for me anymore." So it wasn't about you changing. It was about you becoming harder to use. Questions turn manipulation into confession. Habit number 6. Build a life people can't access. Let's talk about something deeper. The easiest person to control is someone who has no goals, no structure, no boundaries, no options. Because if your life is empty, anyone can walk in and rearrange it. But when you have purpose, when your time is valuable, control becomes expensive. Create non-negotiables. Gym time, study time, work blocks. Sleep schedule 1 hour daily offline. Then protect them like they're sacred. A toxic friend calls at midnight, "I need you right now." You answer every time. Now you're trained. Instead, you don't pick up. You reply in the morning, "Hope you're okay. I was asleep." At first they'll be shocked, then they'll adjust or disappear. Either way, you win. Habit number 7. Walk away without drama. This is the final habit, and it's the one that separates the controlled from the untouchable. You must learn to leave. Not because you're angry, not because you're trying to prove a point, but because you respect yourself. Most people stay in toxic dynamics because they want closure. They want justice. They want the other person to finally understand. But controlling people don't give closure. They give confusion. Master the calm exit. "I'm not continuing this conversation. We'll talk when it's respectful. I'm done here. Take care." Then leave. No debate, no final speech, no emotional explosion. If someone insults you and waits for you to react, you just stand up, grab your things, and go. That silence is a message. You don't get access to me when you behave like that. That's not weakness. That's power. So let's recap the 7 habits that make you impossible to control. Pause before you respond. Stop explaining yourself. Stop chasing approval. Control your face, not your feelings. Ask questions instead of defending. Build a life people can't access. Walk away without drama. And here's the truth. The world doesn't reward the person who's the nicest. It rewards the person who is self-governed, because when you control yourself, no one else can. So the question is, are you living your life, or are you performing for people who don't even respect you? If this video helped you, like it, subscribe, and comment. I choose control. And remember, the strongest person in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who can't be moved.